reading one of my favorite stories, all about Ferdinand, the story of Ferdinand the Bull. And this is just such a wonderful story because if you haven't read this story or you didn't see the movie, which actually varies somewhat from the story, but the same message is sent in the movie as in the book, because this is all about a bull who is a different kind of bull. He wants to do things not like other bulls want to do things. And it's a message that, being yourself, being you, even if you like different stuff from other people, is okay. You need to celebrate you. You need to be you because everyone else is taken. So it's a wonderful story about Ferdinand and a wonderful mother that he had. So let's get started reading Ferdinand the Bull. And as you're saying hello, let me see if I can bring up and make sure I'm live here. I am. As you're hopping on, if you would say hello. If you have kids with you, give me their names so I can say hello and hopefully I'll see these comments. Also, please remember that if you put a comment on Facebook, I may not see your name. It may say like Facebook user. So please tell me your name as well so I can absolutely say hello to you. And those on YouTube, at Pumped Up Parenting with Celia Kibler, thank you for joining me. If you love story times and you love Ferdinand the Bull, because there are lots of story times on YouTube, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell so you get reminders. Story time on YouTube is Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, every Monday. And then, of course, lots of parenting solutions, tips, strategies, Tuesday and Thursdays at 10 a.m. on Facebook, on HAPS, and on YouTube. And if you haven't joined HAPS yet, absolutely download the HAPS app. It's a great new broadcasting platform. I'm loving it. Would love to have you join me. Okay, let's get started with Ferdinand the Bull. All right, here we go. The Story of Ferdinand. This book is written, I'm so sorry. You know what? And the title I wrote, it was by Robert Lawson. It is not. It is by Monroe Leaf, and it is illustrated by Robert Lawson. So sorry about that. Here we go. Once upon a time in Spain. Have you ever been to Spain? Do you know what Spain is? If you're here in the United States, Spain is across the ocean. Mommy or daddy can show you where it is on a map. There was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. Yes, it's such a wonderful book, isn't it? I know, it's just the best book. It's one of my all-time favorites. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. And the movie came out, I think, in December of 2019. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's a little variation from the storybook, like I said, but same wonderful message. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, said his mother would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. That's a good mommy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. Do you see his sizes here on the tree? See, he has a tree with all his measurements. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit just quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. Hi, Logan. How are you? Look, I'm reading our favorite book. It's our favorite book. We love this book. I used to read it to you when you were so little. I know you remember. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting, leaping and jumping so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. Thanks for joining me, Logan. I miss you. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice, cool grass in the shade, he sat right on a bumblebee. What do you think happened next? Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that is just what the bee did to Ferdinand. He's a little shocked. Wow, did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. Oh no. I don't think Ferdinand wants to go to the bullfights, do you? So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. Hi, Czar. What a day it was. Flags were flying, bands were playing. It's a big celebration during the bullfights, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. And look, they had flags that said Ferdinand. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderilleros with long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Oh, poor Ferdinand. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? Who was it? Here he is, Ferdinand. It was Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderilleros were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. Would you be afraid of Ferdinand? He was kind of sweet, wasn't he? But he's still a bull. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. See him? He's down here. Right there. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers in all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled, and the banderilleros were mad, and the picadores were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off with his cape and his sword. And there's Ferdinand right in the middle, just sitting there. Whoops. I think he threw a temper tantrum. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers just quietly. He is very happy. Nobody attacked him when he went to the bullfights. They brought him back, and there's Ferdinand the bull, sitting quietly, smelling the flowers. The end. See, isn't that a wonderful story? And it's all about how you can be who you want to be. What do you want to do? You don't have to be the same type of person to do the same things everyone else is doing. Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. Celebrate you, because we all have special gifts within us. Ferdinand's special gift, even though he was a bull, was that he knew how to be calm and relaxed and simply smell the flowers. So find your special gifts too, and make sure your parents know what they are so they can help you celebrate them. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me for one of my favorite books. Now let's relax and do some breathing and relaxing ourselves. Hold your finger up, and just like Ferdinand does, smell the flower and blow out the candles. Smell the flower and blow out the candles. Smell the flower, blow out the candles. Can you do one more? Smell the flower and blow out the candles. Wow, you guys did great. And what a wonderful story to relax to. So remember, if you ever feel kind of wild and you need to calm down, smell the flower like Ferdinand did. Blow out those candles like you do for your birthday. Okay, guys? And we will see you Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on HAPS, on YouTube, and on Facebook in Pumped Up Parenting. You guys have an awesome evening. I wish you days filled with peace, love, tons of laughter, because it really is the best medicine. And I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. and around the web. Bye, Logan. I love you. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.